You can bury some of your bad memories within me. Share them between our bodies. Gaia knows you have enough of those for more than just the two of us. Two people. It's okay. We'll make do. This is a story of a girl who feels crowded in and then finds someone who she likes. All along the barracks of her pool mind she sits, precarious, riding on the idea that it'll be all right in the morn, that there'll stop being so many people crowding her. And the ones so dense within the folds of origami plagiarism in her mind, she sits on the edge of the stone-walled barracks, postulating perpetual precariousness, in hopes people will stop going around here and just go. It's hard for her. It's hard for me. She can't write. She's versifier, a troubadour, bard, dramatic poet. It's horrible to think when I'm constantly surrounded by man like the virile. Forced in with torture made normal, and they want us to learn things but don't think of the rule of the runt duckling. If you're 10 ducks lined up, just a waddle in and a walk in at the pace of the runt, you fool. That's how fast you go. You fool. Maybe with her shadow puppet memories of storytelling in tissue veil paper, hubbed cocoons she sits in, making herself smaller into child's pose, as if to try and to not be noticed, she might tell you. Leavin', within this wombatic membrane she's been coaxed to form around herself by a mentor with no emotions, no crying, simply discomfort. Toujours, these people. They trickle in around her like the girl from the lovely nursery story boy. From the lovely nursery story. Boy in a blue dress falling forgot to plug the dam with his fingertips along its concrete painted with turquoise blue, ground up topaz, and mustard colors from the fields that line her house. Long since aged like the Mexico I've only seen in pictures. I've only seen pictures of it. I've only seen in pictures. The womb's veins pulse and contract around her like some dragon's wings, further in until they are completely concave and she can feel the moisture and placenta lubricating her skin-tight cage. And her feet, phalanges, pruning. It feels like pus as she squirms with discomfort, though only a hair of movement would stop her bottom to slip like in a cow trough belly bulging with morning dew and evaporation, and she's reminded of sleeping on a motel bed with her mother. She's reminded of sleeping on a motel bed with her mother. Where at the slightest shift of her bottom she'd receive a grunt and a muffled calling of her name, but if the accident is repeated too many times on too many poking bed springs when you're drowsy, you'll feel an odd heel pat your shin, and then calf, and the body expects itself to fall in that moment of slipping, but it doesn't, and neither does the mind. No. She's all right. Isolation, misanthropia, change, feels better this way, like this. It's like she sits within her self-made womb cloak, trying to turn herself invisible, behind its hood that's too big for her still. inserted within fallopian tubes, vaginal folds of wet flesh and the damn girl's fingertips. She's now kissing her. Within this womb. Skin now taut, made larger for another form. But now, for this all-encompassing warmth that now proceeds, this time's proceedings, humidity rolls, glides around, birthing blood pools around them, and you can see clots between the patterns of births within this parallel dimension that they have created. This membrane these two femmes have been tangled up in, wrestling in the slippage inhibited by the venous plasma of many dreams. That's how it is also. It's not always closeness. It's not always love. As if they're stuck in a cell's cytoplasm. She's found someone fucked up like she is. Oh, this beautiful woman. Of and on the seas and oceans, water floating intravenously is how love is born, my friends. She's wearing a blood-red dress that hugs her in all the ways she wants it to. Darling, I want to hold, hug, grab, grasp you, and she's made me forget everything before this. Everything else before this.